10 very best places in Texas to visit. One of the largest states in the U.S., Texas is totally vast and totally epic to explore. With heaps of cities, national parks and coastal retreats, it's the kind of state that's got a little something for every type of traveler. Plus, you won't be lost for things to do with all the best places in Texas dotted all across the state. 1. San Antonio. The second city we visited when traveling through Texas, San Antonio is a total treat to explore. It's such a lovely city to explore and great for a long weekend city break. Once here, be sure to first stop off at the Alamo, one of the best places in Texas that you can't miss. Historically, the site of the Battle of Alamo, back in 1836, it's one of the state's most iconic spots relating to Texas independence. Situated in the downtown area of San Antonio, it's an incredible place to explore, especially with the chapel and long barracks. 2. Big Bend National Park. Big Bend's National Park might just be one of the best places in Texas to visit for the great outdoors. Perched along the western border of Texas, it's the kind of place that's got heaps to see and do for a few days trip. Once here, be sure to hike the South Rim Trail that's so beautiful. Yes, it's around 12 miles, and not for the faint-hearted, it's the kind of hike that's worth the challenge. Though, saying that, never head out on a hike if you're not totally convinced you can complete the trail. 3. Austin. A perfect stopping point when driving west from Houston, Austin is filled with the coolest coffee spots, eateries and bars that make this city totally fun. Depending on how long you spend, I'd suggest at least a few days. Be sure to visit the Texas State Capitol building that dates all the way back to the 1800s. 4. Amarillo. Nestled just off the historic Route 66, Amarillo is a perfect stopping point to explore and rest up when visiting the best places in Texas. Once here, take some time to explore the beautiful Amarillo Botanical Gardens and the Amarillo Museum of Art. They're both lovely spots to visit, especially when on a day trip to the city. 5. Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Right on the border with New Mexico, Guadalupe Mountains National Park is one of the best places in Texas to visit if you want some time in the great outdoors. The park itself is totally diverse, with great forests, vast mountainous regions, deserts, and deep canyons, too. You might even get to spot some of the desert animals, too. This means you should watch out for rattlesnakes, especially when hiking the trails. 6. Dallas. Nestled in the north of the state, Dallas is sometimes missed if you're heading on a wider U.S. road trip across Texas. Though, with it only being a 3-hour drive from Austin, it's the kind of city that's pretty easy to visit. After getting to Dallas, your first port of call has to be the Museum of Art. It's incredible and possibly one of our favorites in all of Texas. Founded well over 100 years ago, it has thousands of pieces. 7. New Braunfels. Not too far from San Antonio, New Braunfels is pretty easy to visit as you're heading between Austin and San Antonio. In fact, it's a perfect little stopping point for a little chill out. After taking a little stroll beyond St. Peter and Paul's Church, get yourself over to Schlitterbahn Water Park. It's a perfect cool down spot in Texas and a pretty fun day. Plus, those slides are just so much fun. 8. Padre Island. Some text goes here looking for an island adventure? Then Padre Island is for you. It's one of the best places in Texas to explore on the south coast. Of course, once here, you have to spend some time visiting the Padre Island National Seashore and Whitecap Beach for its sandy stretches. It's totally blissful. 9. Galveston. Not too far from Houston, Galveston is pretty easy to visit for a day trip from the city, or longer chill out. With gorgeous beaches, the historic downtown area and lots of foodie joints, it's the kind of place that's perfect to chill out. 10. Houston. Initially, Houston was going to be a quick stopping point for us on our trip around Texas, but after arriving, we decided to stay a little longer. We're so glad we did. Probably the largest city in Texas, Houston has heaps going for it and it's totally fun to visit for a fun-filled trip.